Greetings, this is Charles McCall, and this is part 2 of strategic planning, the lesson on 9 steps to project completion. So this is part 2 of that lesson. 9 steps to project completion. Number 1, we said, was vision. Number 2, goals. Number 3, strategy. Number 4, staffing, in that order. And then budget. After you do goals and strategy and staffing, that should give you how much money you're going to need. How much money is it going to need for us to fulfill these goals? Well, our strategy is to do this and this and this, and you plan the strategy for the year, and by the way, you put it into the calendar. You put into the calendar when you will do this. And if you're going to have events, I'm from a church background, and so we would say, we would look at the holidays. Okay, we're going to do an outreach on this holiday, so in January there's going to be an outreach, in February there's going to be an outreach, March and April there's going to be an outreach, May, June, and July we're not going to do very much, but once we hit August we're going to do another outreach, September, October. So we would put into the calendar, when are we going to do our trainings, our staff training, we put that into the calendar. All of this up to this point, vision, goals, strategy, staffing, all of this is a wish list, okay? Because it all depends upon the budget. The money has to come from someplace. And so then you put together your budget, a very clear budget. This is what our monthly budget is. This is the budget we're going to need for staffing. This is the budget we're going to need for activities, the budget we're going to need for supplies and all the different aspects of what you're going to be doing. You create your budget and then you submit your budget to the next level up, the board. And then they will get all of the budgets from all the different departments. They will look at it and they will say we can do it or we can't do it. And most of the time for me, when I've been on the budget creating side and I've passed it up, it's come back 2 or 3 times. They say, nope, you're going to have to trim the budget. We're not going to be able to do this. So I go back with my team again and we would meet and say, all right, we're not going to be able to do everything. We've got to fit it into this budget. So let's look again. How can we, maybe at that point we need to adjust our goals, and we definitely need to adjust our strategy, and we probably need to adjust our staffing as well. And so that's the 5th step, is budget. Again, I've been in organizations. The first thing they do is create the budget. We need this much money. Don't tell me how much money you need until you tell me what you're going to need it for. I want to see a specific goals and specific strategy and staffing on how you're going to use this budget, and they'll will determine whether you're going to get it or not. And then after that, number 6 is training. Please don't forget training. Again, I've told you that I've got, that's what mentoring growing leaders. I'm a training expert. And so you must give new staff training, and you must continue to develop the capacity of your staff throughout the year. There are so many things that you could develop the staff. You could do, again, what we've done is we've done surveys and we've done evaluations. Our staff lacks this, 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 and this. Our staff lacks these 5 things, and so these are the 5 different trainings that we're going to have. We're going to try to equip them with the skills or the understanding that they lack. And so this is called strategic planning. We have a vision, and our goals are strategic. Our goals lead us to fulfill the vision. Our strategies leads us to fulfill the vision. Our staffing leads us to fulfill our vision. Our budget, our training, everything is to fulfill the vision. And if there's something that we're doing that does not lead us to fulfill our vision, we really need to evaluate whether we should be doing it or not. I used to say, everything is good. Everything, yeah, this is great, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. You cannot do everything. You have to choose. You have to choose to do some things and choose not to do other things in order to fulfill the vision. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to get distracted and you're going to water down what you're doing. It's called the principle of focus. You focus on the vision. You focus like a laser beam. You focus like an arrow that wants to hit the target. You want to hit the target, not all around the target, not a dozen targets. You can't do everything. You have to focus. So training. And then after the training, you have to oversee. You have to be involved in oversight. And that means somebody has to check up on what's going on to make sure it's going the way it's supposed to go. Make sure the goals are being fulfilled. Make sure they're doing the strategy the way that we've done it. Make sure that policies are being implemented. My experience and the kind of work that I've done, that usually involves somebody going and taking a look with their own eyes, somebody who has the vision, somebody who knows clearly what's supposed to be going on, needs to take a look and see if it actually is happening the way it's supposed to be happening. This might mean the owner of a restaurant needs to go into the kitchen from time to time, needs to go out to the front door time to time, needs to go into the purchasing area, into the finance. It usually means a senior leader must show up from time to time, at least to check things out, sit in the classroom. I remember that one great CEO was flying from one place to another place, and he put down his airplane about 100 miles away from his destination. The reason why, he was going to meet a trucker, and he was going to ride the last 100 miles with the trucker so that he could sit and chat with the trucker. He wanted to come right down to the lowest level to find out what was going on and to see how the truck was loaded, how the truck progressed on its route, how efficient they were, how they unloaded, what the whole practice and procedure. He wanted to see it with his own eyes. At a high level, this was a billionaire I'm talking about. And so this is where many entities break down right here. They don't have the oversight. They do steps 1 through 5, even steps 1 through 6 maybe, and then they turn it loose and they don't follow up on it. It will crash and burn if you don't follow up on it. And so you need to have the oversight. Somebody needs to go out, check it out, and then report back to the senior leaders or the board. And then you evaluate the next step. So how are we doing? And so that's why you have the job reviews, and that's why you have 2 or 3 times a year you have a review, a departmental review. Are we moving forward in accomplishing our goals or not? If not, why not? And so you evaluate. Maybe our goals were too big. Maybe they were not relevant. Maybe things have changed. Maybe we need to adjust some staffing. And so you need to evaluate and make the changes, and that's what the next step is. The final step is adjustment. You evaluate. Things are going well, okay, we don't have to change anything. Or things are not going well, or things could be better. We have more opportunities. We want to take advantage of those opportunities. So you evaluate and you make, number 9, you make the adjustments that are necessary so that you can move forward. And so this is a year. We're talking about, if we can say, from January to December, we're talking about renewing the vision. We're talking about making sure that we have goals, that we're following our goals, that we have a clear strategy, and that we're doing staffing. We have the right people. We're doing job descriptions. We're doing job reviews. We have the right people in the right place, and we have a budget. We're spending our budget wisely. We're not over budget. We're not under budget. These are things that need to be evaluated on a monthly basis. We have our training in place. So throughout the year, we have staff training, high-level staff training, low-level staff training. We're addressing the needs. What skills do we need to develop in them? What understanding do we need to develop in them? And then we have a plan for oversight. Was on a monthly basis or weekly basis. We have people, and that's their responsibility, and they report back. And we have our evaluations. We have our planning sessions. We have our daily check-ins. We have our weekly staff meetings. We have our monthly 2 or 3 hour meetings. We have our annual. We have several off-site meetings. So these are all times for evaluation and adjustment. And so everything that I've been teaching you and sharing with you, it leads in to these 9 steps. I hope this wasn't too confusing for you. I hope it was helpful to you. It's crystal clear to me. And so again, I want to offer myself. If you have questions or you want to meet, have a cup of coffee or Skype or something like that, feel free to contact me. And again, please, if you would, subscribe to this channel and like this video and share it with other people so that others can get the benefit of it as well. Thank you very much, and we have one more lesson, then we're going to be finished.